Hello! Welcome to Not Quite Novelists. This is a show where new worlds are built and new friends are made on the spot each and every episode. My name is Savannah, and with me today she is an actress and a cosplayer, and one of my besties in the whole world. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Liz. Like you said, I'm a cosplayer and actress. I had an audition today, so that's why I look like this. I don't normally look like this, but
looking so fine with it. Like, you're so pretty. I swear to God, it's just
thank you.
Stop it. So the way this works is we have two lists of prompts, basically. We've got theme and we got tone. So because this is once again an episode without our ever elusive Persephone, who is usually my co-host and who usually has the other, so it's just a hat with sticky notes in it. Now, Persephone has the other generator. I have one of them. But because we don't have them today, I'm going to have you kind of pick from the list, but you're not going to know what you're picking. So the point of this is to be totally random. And once we pick our theme and our tone, we can just kind of go from there, see how the inspiration takes us. Cool? All right.
Awesome sauce.
Let's do it. So I'm going to have you start with theme. Pick a number between 1 and 33.
11. That's my favorite number. No, wait, no.
I love this, and I'm very interested to see how you and I are going to play this out. Now I need you to pick a number between 1 and 10.
3.
Okay.
I don't like this.
So the theme you have chosen out of my list is puppets. It just says puppets.
Okay.
So we can figure that out from there. The tone you have chosen, our genre for the night, is gonna be horror.
Oh God.
So it is up to us this episode to now write, or at least for us to come up with the setting and our characters and stuff for a world that is a horror story somehow involving puppets. Which, I mean, to be fair, the two go hand in hand. Puppets are creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. I'm like, this actually isn't that hard. Never mind.
I think we got this. It's just really funny because you are not I mean, we have several, like, stories kind of going with each other already, but none of them are really, like, horror related. And really none of them have anything to do with puppets. So
yeah, you're right.
I added that too. So when I added that to the list of themes, though, I really love. Have you been seeing this anywhere on like TikTok or Instagram? This game. It's an ARG, I think, an alternate reality game called Welcome Home. Have you seen this?
I have not seen it actually.
Okay, it is wild. So it's really strange. Basically, there's a website, and the story of it, the story based on the whole thing is that I don't know a ton. I have not done a ton of research on this, but I love the characters. So what it is like, in the world of Welcome Home used to be a TV show similar to like Sesame Street. You know, it's kind of that kind of vibe where it's like the characters are puppets. But it like got canceled, and then the website is about like where the, you know, like a restoration society kind of thing, like kind of keeping the story of Welcome Home alive. And then there's all sorts of weird like Easter eggs and mysteries and stuff like that all throughout the website. I'll send you the info after we record because it is crazy.
Yes, please.
there are characters in there that I'm absolutely obsessed with, and I'm gonna send you so many memes on TikTok now. You're gonna love it. But
we already send each other so much.
it's so much, so we have corresponding fandoms pretty often. We like got into we're both in like a supernatural mindset at the same time. Obviously, Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Now Spider-Verse because. Mwah.
Yeah, it just always happens at the same time.
We always kind of sync up, and it's great. So I'm gonna get you into Welcome Home for sure.
Okay.
So, knowing that like that is kind of really popular right now, at least I've seen a lot of it like more recently, and then also I think there's like a Five Nights at Freddy's movie coming out. I've never played.
Yeah.
I've never played Five Nights at Freddy's. I really don't know anything about it. But
I've never played it, but I've seen like people play it.
Yeah, I like to. That's the thing is I'm not a gamer. I call myself a backseat gamer. So like I like to watch other people play video games. I don't necessarily play myself.
I play games, but it's not like multiplayer games. I like story games. So like The Last of Us, like Spider-Man. Tomb Raider is a good one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm such a, like, I like to watch other people. I remember I had a roommate a while back who, and this was like 8 or 9 years ago, who was playing the Walking Dead game. And literally that would be, instead of, like, watching a show or having, like, movie nights or whatever, it would be me sitting on the couch, like, with my sketchbook or whatever, while they played, The Walking Dead, and I just got really into just watching it as if it was a show.
That's so cute.
It was so much fun. I like stuff like that. So like, anyway, going back to like puppets, I feel like we can kind of either maybe go for like a, I'm trying to decide if like character-wise, what do you think we should do? If we should go for like the characters, like our characters would be like the puppets themselves, or maybe our characters are like puppeteers working on like a puppet show kind of thing.
We could do like if we do a puppeteer show, we could be like actresses, actors, controlling the puppet. We end up having to stay over for extra practice. We end up being the only ones there.
And horror ensues. Okay.
And horror.
So it kind of like mixes that like kind of Five Nights at Freddy's vibe with like a Sesame Street kind of energy. Like a Sesame Street
kind of like
Welcome Home energy. Oh god.
Phantom of the Opera, man.
Oh my god. Real quick, before we actually get started, I see this meme every now and again, like everywhere. If you could turn any movie or show into a Muppet version, who would it, like, what would it be? But then also, who would be the one character that stays human while everybody else turns into Muppets?
Could you imagine if they did Stranger Things and the only person that's human is Steve Harrington?
He would though too, and that's the funniest part about it. He would be the only one. I feel like either he would be the only human, or Joyce and Hopper would be the only humans.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Oh, I'd love to see that. Yeah, that's, oh my god, I love that so much. Okay, my ADHD is like kicking into high gear. So
it's okay.
The way we kind of wanted to do this, and we haven't had a fully like fleshed out structure yet, so we're just kind of going like loose ideas of it, is we kind of want to go in like segments. So we do like part 1, our characters, and then part 2 is like the setting, and then within that we'll have like, you know, little segments. So like in part 1, while we talk about our characters, we'll do like, okay, what do they look like? what's their personality, what's their, like, you know, why are they there, that kind of thing, like, what's their backstory. We'll kind of go in those, like, little, you know, those character profile details, and then we'll go for, like, setting and kind of like, okay, this is the environment that they are in, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I like the idea of us being, like, puppeteers. Like, we work on, like, a kid's show that is, like, kind of puppets, like a Jim Henson Sesame Street kind of Muppet vibe, you know?
Yeah.
I'm having ideas, but I don't want to steal from not an old OC, but I have a character that I have in a Welcome Home roleplay with another friend of mine. And, like, I have ideas, but some of them are starting to be like, no, you're just recreating the same character, and I want to come up with someone new, you know?
Yeah.
I feel, you know what? No, I feel like my character, would be the one human character out of all the Muppets. Like, she's the one that interacts with the Muppets on the show. Like, with the puppets on the set. Yeah, she's the one who likes to, yeah, I don't know why. She's gonna be the only human in there.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm always, like, I feel like I'm always, like, the perky person. I feel like that's always what I, like,
I'm so
my default.
shocked. Oh, wow. You're...
Okay. What if I'm the person that, like, controls the lighting and stuff like that, like a techie? I could do
so
tech.
you're not even, like, a puppeteer or anything like that.
I could do tech stuff.
Yeah. Okay, I like that.
And just be my little shy self.
Naturally.
Naturally.
For those who don't know, there's so many of Liz's OCs that are just the cute shy girl. That's
I swear.
Hey, man.
And, like, in my head, I'm like, this is different. This is different than the last one. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not. It's the same person.
I swear to God, though, we have, like, listen, I try and make all of my characters, like, different in personality as much as I can. I have some that are really shy. I have some that are, like, divas. I have some that are more, like, angry in nature, and some that are more happy. I try and have some variety in there. But when it comes to you, our characters have the same dynamic every time.
Every time.
And that is loud diva, Leo vibe, like, doesn't care about being the center of attention, whether it's, you know, kicking some ass, or if it's, you know, being the, like, I'll be the star kind of vibe. It's that, with your, like, little shy, like, it's extrovert adopts the introvert. That's what our vibe is.
Yeah.
Every
single time. I think the only different ones would be The Last of Us, and then Supernatural. Yes.
I think so. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about our Last of Us characters. A little bit, but that's because we haven't talked about them nearly as much as we talk about the others. So,
yeah, that's very true.
I feel like with us being, like, not necessarily the actual puppeteers, I'm trying to decide now what the puppets would be. You know what I mean? Like, we should come up with some puppet characters in there. Let's see. I think, There
should be a dog. I want a dog puppet.
Yes. Like a Rolf the dog.
Like Paw Patrol, you know?
I love that. I was thinking Rolf the piano playing dog in the Muppets. And you went,
Wait, that's...
Paw Patrol. I love it. Nope, we're doing that. So, yeah, there's absolutely a dog puppet, and the dog puppet is my character's like best friend. Not necessarily pet, because if you're gonna have a talking dog, he can't be a pet, you know? It's like it's like Goofy and Pluto. You can't have, you know, Goofy can't be someone's pet. That's weird. So, right? So yeah, this dog is absolutely my character's like bestie. And they go on all sorts of silly adventures, meeting other talking animals. So I think that's the premise of the show itself, is like, oh, I have a talking dog. Let's go on all of these adventures together. And through these adventures, we go through like a magical forest or whatever, and we meet all these crazy talking animals. So there's like a talking squirrel, there's a talking, you know, whatever, that kind of thing.
It's like Dora.
How? What is happening?
All of a sudden, the bad fox comes in. Swipe or no swiping.
What is happening in this episode? Okay.
I don't know. This is what you get for asking me to do an episode while I'm sleep deprived, okay?
And also, this is a very weird prompt for us.
Yeah.
Not at all what I was expecting. I was expecting, like, us to land on superheroes for this one.
I wish.
It's okay. We work with what we got. That's the point of this. We keep our inspiration alive. Yeah, okay, so the adventure, the show, the premise is that they go and meet all the other talking animals. So I would say all of the puppets are probably, instead of like, you know, monsters like you know, Elmo and Grover and all these other, like, you know, I think they're more like actual animals.
Yeah.
But not even, I would say not even like Kermit or Fozzie Bear or something like that. I would say more like they look like actual animals, and they're like almost not necessarily animatronic, but they look a little bit more like realistic animals versus like a cartoony talking version of it.
Yeah.
The only one that looks different is the dog.
It's the dog.
Yeah, it has to be the dog. And the dog like has like blinking eyes and like, you know, moves its mouth a lot more the way like a puppet would, or like while it's talking and stuff. Mm-hmm. I can imagine it so vividly in my head, and it's already creeping me out. I love it. Oh, I just thought of something super creepy. Okay, so I feel like this show, weird stuff happens on set like all the time. And I feel like I'm trying to figure out a way to incorporate like your character and the horror element of it. I feel like weird stuff happens on set all the time. I'm kind of used to it, and I feel like, and you'll get this, theater people are the most superstitious human beings on the face of the planet, you know?
For real.
Yeah. There are two groups of people that I think are the most superstitious ever, and that is theater people and retail/service workers. And I say that part because, you know, when you walk in and someone says like, oh, you know, like you're about to like clock on, and they go, yeah, it's been pretty slow today. You're like, shh, why would you say that? Because as soon as someone says it's been slow, you know it's going to like, that jinxes it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And
I've been both, so.
Exactly. We both know. We know what's up. Those are the most superstitious people. So I think I'm kind of used to it, and I always have like I expect things to go wrong on set because that's just how it works sometimes, and I just kind of my character just kind of learns to roll with the punches and learns to like improv on top of it, you know?
Yeah.
but your character notices weird stuff that happens, even even behind the camera, or stuff that happens that like can't really be chalked up to just normal set weirdness.
I think it would be cool to, since she's a techie, like maybe have like the light board, like some blinking weird, do some crazy crap with that.
Or like stuff like
she kind of notices that.
Yeah, or like stuff like when you, before we start filming, you kind of will walk in and see that your like light board, your switchboard is already on and lit up and stuff, when you're like, no one touched this and I turned it off when I got home, or like when I left yesterday, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like some like creepy stuff like that would happen.
Yeah.
I feel like when you come to me to be like, hey, there's some, I feel like you try and tell like other people before you would come to me.
Yeah.
And very much are like, try to tell like the director or a producer or anyone who's like, anyone who you think works on set enough that can help, not and everyone just kind of is like, all right, you're paranoid, you've been working a lot of late nights, maybe you need to take a day off, like that kind of thing, like very much just like take a break.
Yeah.
But when you finally tell me, I think I'm the only one who's like, okay, so you noticed it too. Like, I'm not the only one who think like, I've seen set weirdness because like I've worked on other stuff before, but this is like this is a lot, this is like excessive, that kind of thing. Yeah, I think so. I'm the only one who like believes you, and it kind of turns into like a I don't want to say like investigation. I don't think they would actually investigate. I think my character, being as like superstitious as she is, would probably do stuff to always come prepared and like be like try and like preventative stuff. Very much is a crystal girly, and so like gives your character some protective crystals, like, here, this is black obsidian, it's supposed to help with getting it, like gives like crystals and stuff like that, like keep it in your pocket or keep it next to your switchboard or something like that, like gives you little like charms and things, and for the most part it kind of helps. But imagine one day they like go to, so this is where like I think horror elements would come in. Imagine like a puppet would go missing. Hear me out. You already look scared, and I love this because I am a horror fiend. I love scary stories. I love scary, like, let me write the horror stuff. So imagine like, one day one of the animal puppets goes missing, and then of like one of the like kind of regular like side characters, and he's like, the puppeteer, he's like, well, what the hell am I supposed to do now? Like, what am I supposed to do? And they're like, here, just, we'll kind of work around it, make some rewrites here, just play this other animal instead. And it's this, like, it's like the last puppet they can find that will work, and it's this ratty old, like, has been in a prop trunk for years. Like, no one's used it since, like, the first season of this show or whatever. And, they're like, here, just, like, play this for now. Like, for this, for this taping, because we're on a schedule. We can't stop filming. So, okay, his puppet goes missing. Like, the next day, he doesn't show up to work. And he, like, stops.
Oh my god!
And he goes missing. Yeah. Yeah.
That's psycho.
I need one of those. I need to turn all my lights off and get like a flashlight to come in from underneath, just like
yeah, just would you say, like, is the dog like also like puppeteered by someone, or is it like an animatronic type?
Ooh, I don't know. What do you
I
think?
think it would be cool. I think it would be good, like, if it was puppeteered by someone,
Yeah.
because if, like, we had this, like, scene or, like, aspect of, like, you, walking by it and it starts, like, talking to you or whatever, like, talking, and you
Oh,
think it's, like, the cast member, like, messing with you, and maybe
yeah.
you, like, say, like, hey, like, what the hell was that? And he's
All
like,
right,
what are you talking about?
Jim, knock it off. You're saying weird stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be cool because if we keep the horror aspect, it could be a bad dog, or he could be warning you about what's happening.
Yeah. I think so. Okay, so to figure out the horror element exactly, what would be the. Obviously, I think we both know where this is gonna go. The puppets are alive. Like, the puppets are haunted or sentient in some way. As soon as I said puppets,
Yeah,
we knew what was going to happen, right? Like,
yeah.
regardless of what direction we went in this, we knew that this was going to happen. So, do we think that the puppets are actually, like, sentient themselves, or do we think they're more haunted by spirits, like it's an actual ghost of some kind? Because having them as, like, their own entity versus, like, haunted by a spirit, then that means that spirit can be taken out of the puppet and put into a new vessel, you know, like the spirit can kind of hop around. Versus if the puppet is sentient itself, you got to figure out a way to kill an animate object.
Mhm.
So,
Hmm.
yeah, I know.
Because if you chose a spirit, then you could come up with a backstory of who that spirit
Yeah.
is and why they're doing it. Um, but of course, having like things come alive and do that is also like scary, and trying to figure out how to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Um,
Also spooky. Well,
spooky.
let's circle back to that because I think we can kind of touch on that in, like, the setting part of it. Let's talk more about, like, our characters.
Yeah.
So, let's just do that. What does your character look like?
I'd say she has brown hair. I would say it's like short. She always wears it braided back, like French braids.
Cute.
Yeah. Always wears black because, you know, techies wear black all the time when they're on set. I'm gonna give her glasses because none of my characters have glasses. So she has glasses.
I thought Jim had glasses for a second. Sorry, that threw me.
No, it's okay.
I don't know why for a
I
split
have
second I was
glasses.
like, wait a minute, no.
Yeah. I'd say she yeah, she's always wearing headphones, like obviously like kind of like these, because
Nice.
you know she's always looking for sound stuff. Always running around.
I have an idea, but I feel like
But
I can. I have an idea, but I feel like we can. I can talk about it during the setting part. Keep going. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
okay. um. I would say her eye color brown as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like me.
I think that's the gist of it. She's pretty plain. Yeah, like my eyeballs.
Yes. Brown eye squad for life.
Oh yeah.
There has been a recent surgence of brown eyed love on social media, and it makes me very happy because
I know, I've seen it, and I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, I never see it anywhere, but every time I see, so I'm comparing, you know, pretty, like, brown eyes to, like, you know, dark chocolate, or, like, yeah, even, like, dirt, like, even, like, earth, because they use these, like, beautiful, like, nature photos of, like, you know, soil and stuff like that. It's beautiful to me, and I'm just like, I feel so pretty. Okay, I feel like my character actually has a very kind of like, because you know, like the characters, the human characters in like things like Sesame Street, they kind of just generally look like normal people. I feel like I kind of want to go in a different route. I would love to see like a Lazy Town vibe, you know, very colorful, very just like we're going on an adventure, like that kind of energy, you know. So I would say she has like bright green hair. Because I was going to say pink, but then I thought of Lazy Town, so I was like, okay, that's an example, but I want to say, like, bright green hair. I think that'd just be cute. And
yeah, I like it.
Yeah, she dresses very, like fairycore, you know? She has a very, like, almost IRL Tinkerbell vibe to her, so, she wears, like, oh, my friend just got me these really cute earrings, so these are actually perfect for it. I'll show you, hold on. As, like, a present, my friend got me these.
Oh, they're so pretty!
Yeah. The colors are not showing up nearly as well on camera, but they're, like, you know, up top you can see, like, kind of a blue thing in there. They are, like, this very pretty, like, blue teal kind of thing. So she wears like stuff like this, you know, cute little like fairy ring earrings and glittery, you know, glittery makeup and like green lipstick and stuff like that. So she kind of has like a fairy vibe. So maybe the show is not necessarily more like Sesame Street. I would say like the dog found like she dresses like a fairy. Maybe that's her whole character, is she has like, you know, little pointed, you know, prosthetic pointed ears, and she's like, oh, we need to save all the woodland creatures. Well, I'm a fairy who lives in the woods, so I can use my magic to do that. And that's like a plot point in the show that she's in. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. That's cute. I like it.
Cool. Wow, mixing magic and fairies and horror. This is gonna get really weird. But yeah, very, very big, bright personality. And actually, I would say her character personality and her real life personality are not too different. Like, she obviously over-exaggerates it to be like, okay, let's go on... Stop that. To, like, on, you know, on screen when the camera's rolling. But when the camera's off rolling, she's still very just like, yeah, how can I help? Like, she just naturally has that... She has kind of, like... Her natural speaking voice is a customer service voice. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your character's name?
I like it. What's a maybe Emily.
Cute.
That's a cliche name. Emily Robinson.
I like it. So one thing about me, I do this a lot, is when I try and find a name for a character, I try and think of like names that have like a meaning, you know? Like some kind of, like I would look up, like I love to use like name generators. We did this a lot in last week's episode too. I looked up like, you know, names that mean, you know, star is the character from last week. So, so for this one, I can't really say names that mean star. Wow, I already have a type 2 episodes in a row, and I have a performer that's like,
oh my gosh.
Oh no. Typecast me right now. This is my problem. I have too much Leo in my chart for the astrology girlies. It's too much. Okay, so I would want to have her name probably mean something. I want her name to mean like something, I don't know. This one's harder because when it is kind of based in more of a modern like contemporary or normal person kind of like normal humans kind of setting, then it can be anything. I just like to have it have some kind of significance.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I would want her name to mean, which is usually my jumping off point. I would usually want it to mean, maybe for her it would mean like magic or something. Or like fairy. Something
it can mean like maybe something about protection, like protector.
Ooh, see, I can't wait for you to hear last week's episode. I can't wait for you to hear that one come out, because we actually, the guest character, we chose a name that means like, or we were looking for names that mean protector for him, so that was fun. I would say her name would probably mean, it would probably be something like natural. It would probably be something very rooted in like nature, because if she's a fairy, I feel like she would love to, I feel like if her personality, like her IRL personality and her on-screen personality are kind of very similar, she would already like love the idea of a fairy character. So maybe her name is like I'm trying to think. Oh, maybe her name is like Maple or something like that. Like something like named after like a tree, Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that would be really
cute. That's cute.
Like, when they, I feel like that'd be really cute when so part of her like backstory would be like, when they hire her on, they're like, oh, we're doing like a kind of fantasy puppet kind of, kids show. We think, obviously we think you're like perfect for the job. And she's like, cool, I can, they're like, you know what? Let's just keep your name.
Yeah.
Let's just make your character name the same as your person name. Yeah. Yeah, so her name is Maple.
I like it.
Which I think is adorable. And I also, weird little fact about her, I think they proposed the idea of getting her a green wig, and she said, no, it's fine, and she just straight up dyes her hair green.
Yeah.
So she maintains the green hair for her like career on this show.
Commitment. We love to see it.
For sure. So looks wise, she I think has like really, really bright like green hazel eyes, like that like bright green but with like little flecks of brown in them. So like it kind of looks like it kind of looks like they change color depending on the lighting or where she's at. I think that would be really pretty for her. She's got, like, I would say, like, wavy, a little bit past her shoulders, not by much, maybe to, like, right here, green hair with, like, the side swept bangs and all that. Yeah, and I want to say she dyes it, like, a lighter green, like, this camera mutes my colors so much. You can't see how bright this green is, but it's bright, and it's pretty. Whatever. Yeah, either that or like she does it like a darker, like not really olive, but like a darker, like a forest green.
But,
yeah, or both. She just does the darker forest green with those like really brighter, kind of like lighter highlights.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I think so. I would say she's maybe about average height, maybe like 5'4", 5'5". She could be taller, or like 5'6". So between like 5'4" and 5'6", I would say for her. Most of my characters are small. Almost every single one of my characters. That's another type that I have, is like, I'm 5'2", so my characters are, I'm so used to my characters being small. I am
Yeah, I'm
little.
like, I'm not making my characters taller than me, I swear.
It's just offensive.
Yeah.
My characters are taller than me. How dare you?
Yeah, how dare you actually be tall? Like,
That is just so rude. It's
rude.
disrespectful. Cool. Yeah, she. So, I guess let's go for like backstory now. So, like, how did Emily come to be on the show?
Um, maybe she was a part of some different shows, weren't paying her enough, so she kind of like was looking for another job. She stumbled upon this one. For some reason, they were hiring a position because that person dipped and never came back.
Kind of no call showed on the job, I think.
Yeah,
Oh no.
kind of
And
weird,
this
but
is their, and wow, this is the third person who has no call no showed for their job and just never showed up. So like,
yeah, what the heck?
we really
So
need
crazy.
someone who's going to commit and actually show up to work.
Yeah.
No.
So I feel like she would see that, and they would offer her like from what she was being paid, it would be like a lot because they need
Yeah.
someone like
Desperately.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she knows her stuff, so they're like, we will pay you
Yeah.
like this number if you want the job. And she's like, heck yeah, like that's great money.
Yeah.
And but I feel like she would question because like oh, like this was put up like a couple days ago, like maybe question it a little bit,
Yeah.
find out a little bit about like how they're like, oh yeah, this is like the third light person or like tech person that has like dipped from this role. I don't know why, but they've never showed up. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Like they just no call no showed. We couldn't get a hold of them. Like, don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I feel like my character, I feel like Maple, she would have gotten onto the show. Well, I feel like she would have obviously gotten on like since its conception, like from the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
And she definitely like, I think she kind of helped co-write her character. Like I think it was just kind of basic. Like she auditioned for the pilot and they loved it, and she was like, cool, well, I have some ideas to maybe like change something around or whatever. And so she kind of helped like kind of create Maple as the character into who she is. And she's like a really, well-known, well-liked character in her genre. I feel like Maple was probably a child actor. Yeah, I feel like she was a child actor. She kind of grew up doing, I think she's always liked doing like wholesome, cute, fun stuff. She's very whimsical, so she's always liked doing like fantasy and stuff like that. Something about it just kind of speaks to her.
Yeah.
Shocking that I'm the one who's obsessed with fantasy.
Yeah.
Looks at the giant Labyrinth poster in my living room. Wow. Me, puppets, and fantasy? Never would have thought. Yeah, I feel like she absolutely, like, loves whimsy, loves fantasy, loves magic, and, stuff like fairies and folklore and stuff, and she was a child actor. I feel like she, maybe did go, or at least I think she's, like, as far as this show goes, or as far as, like, in her timeline right now, she is currently in college, and this show is basically putting her through college. And I think she's actually going and studying, right now. She's getting a bachelor's in, like, history or something like that, but she wants to get a degree in, like, folklore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
That would be great. Because I think, one, she obviously just loves it, and two, it would help her to continuously, like, she wants to, like, create more and more stuff that's like fantasy oriented, but also maybe like stuff that like does its research, you know, stuff that like not a lot of fairy stories are good for kids. Let's be real. Not a lot of like OG fairy story, like tales about fairies and the fae and folklore. Like there's a reason in pagan communities we say don't with the fae, you know. And that's she wants to figure out a way to write potentially true to its origins, fun versions of folklore stories. So when weird stuff starts happening on set, I feel like she's very much just like she's the kind of person who, like, not sure if she 100% believes that it's all true, but she likes to just be like if something goes missing, she's like, oh, it was the fairies. They stole it. There's a goblin on set. It stole the prop. You know, that kind of stuff. So, like, when a puppet goes missing, she goes, oh, must have been the goblins. They stole it. Oops. You know?
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that.
And everyone's like...
Yeah, everyone just kind of eye rolls and is just like, okay, you are too in character. But, you know, they know that that's her personality, and they're just like, okay, whatever. You know? They just kind of laugh it off.
Yeah.
And then when your character comes to mind and is just like, no, seriously, weird stuff is happening. Like, there's something going on.
Yeah.
And my character is like, do you think it's like, do you think there's like, she takes a moment and she's like, do you think there might actually just be goblins on set stealing our stuff?
And it's like,
yeah. Imagine that's the actual, like, horror thing. It's not ghosts, it's not demons, but it's like actual true, like, fae, like, yeah, I think that would be wild.
yeah.
And I mean, it's like the mischievous, like, will kill you if you piss them off kind of fae.
Yeah.
And they get offended easily.
Why would they be so angry? Like, what do you think?
I would say maybe, so hear me out. I would say in the, like, first episode of their show, the premise is, oh, she's a little fairy who meets a talking dog, and they have to go save, you know, they have to go meet have adventures in the woods with all the other talking animals in this magical fairy world, right? Imagine, in the first episode, they actually do some kind of, like, they show some kind of magic, some kind of, like, spell or some kind of, like, you know, just a magic fairy thing that makes Maple's character go into the fairy world, or go into, like, the fairy, you know, turn into a fairy or something like that, right? And that's kind of the whole, that's where it starts, is like her character's backstory. What is my hair doing? Sorry. But her character's backstory is that she did, like, some kind of magic happened, or she, like, stepped into a fairy circle or something like that. Well, what they don't realize is that what they actually did was kind of very accurate.
Yeah.
And so what happened was that when she stepped into the fairy ring or whatever, it did kind of open a portal. And I'm kind of taking from a lot of, like, demon stories where it's like, oh, you opened a portal and you let a demon in here and that's what's possessing everybody and blah, blah, blah. But I'm kind of turning it into more of, like, a fae thing, of, like a fairy vibe of, like, they actually did let in some goblins, or like a you know, some little, like, creatures or whatever that have decided, like, we can't get home, so we're just gonna fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
because like maybe they like can't really yeah, maybe they're just pissed off because they see it and they see it as like making a mockery.
Yeah.
They see it as making a mockery of their lives, or as like, hey, you guys are telling our secrets, fucking stop, like what's wrong with you. I think the actual fae in this world are kind of okay with things like Disney telling of stories, like the Tinkerbell movies and stuff like that, because they're like, yeah, that's not really that accurate to who we actually are, but you are feeding our actual, like, creatures, like who we are and stuff, as a kid's story. Like, you're telling these that you're like, maybe instead of just talking animals, some of the other puppets are little woodland, like, fae creatures. Like, they have, like, a goblin puppet, and, like, a fairy puppet, and a water nymph puppet, and things like that, of, like, these different, like, a dryad puppet, stuff like that. And,
yeah.
And they see it, and they're just like, this is so effed up, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And so they see it, and they see, like, so, like, they'll see the ones that that started living on set, they see one of the puppeteers playing a dryad, and they're like, well, that puppet's coming home with us, and you're not going home at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are done.
Yeah. You're done. You're done.
You're done. Goodbye.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah. So, yeah. So what would Emily do when, I guess, things like little pixies or little goblins or whatever, what do you think would happen if Emily starts seeing weird stuff happen around her light board?
I honestly think what would happen, it would be during like one of the scenes that they're shooting, like they're recording and whatever, and it's like all happening, like all taking place, like the scene and everything.
Yeah.
And maybe like lights are shutting off because they're trying to shut down the production, or whatever, you know.
Episode, and like, we're done with this.
Yeah, they're like, no, turn it off.
Okay, can I tell you the idea that I had before that I was like, oh my god, never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
She always wears headphones, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if she starts hearing them speak to her through her headphones?
That's true. She'd be like, quiet on set! Who's talking?
That is so funny that your face just dropped. Oh,
I don't want to hear voices in my ears.
sorry, your facial expression just absolutely killed me. That's hilarious. Yeah, I think it starts out with like gibberish, you know? Like, it kind of starts out with like a, and so it kind of sounds like feedback. It kind of sounds like,
yeah,
maybe like static or feedback for a little bit, and you start saying like quiet on set, and the director calls like a take 5, and so everyone's kind of walking off set and walking away to just go grab like a snack or some water or whatever, do their thing. But because of that, no one is talking in any kind of earpiece or anything like that, because no one's working, and you start hearing, and it starts getting like closer and closer and closer, and you can hear it getting like louder, but it doesn't sound like volume is being turned up. What it sounds like is it started sounding far away, and it sounds like it's getting closer to whatever it is that's talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would give Emily a panic attack.
Yeah. She'd be like, she'd throw these things across the room.
Oh, I think that would be why the other tech people left. Yeah, I don't think it was they got kidnapped or anything, because I think the people that these creatures are trying to like kidnap and like hurt are more the puppeteers and the people who are like playing these visages of actual creatures. I think because their like interference basically is messing with like the tech, the other tech people have left because I have hiccups today. Oh my god, sorry.
It's okay.
But I think they didn't just like, you know, no show, no call, no show. I think they just said, nope, F this, we're out. We're not doing this shit. It's not happening. I think that would be much more interesting and compelling. Because then I feel like Emily would probably go to, like, try and find one of the tech people that quit. And be like, why did you leave? Like, why did you quit the set? And they start explaining all of these weird things that were happening, and yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I feel like one of them is probably like in a psych unit now.
Yeah.
One of them like quit and then like moved across like to another country and like switched careers. Another one is like in a psych unit. Another one just quit and tried to like lay low basically and just try to get like have like a normal life or whatever. Maybe it wasn't as bad for that one as the others, but yeah. And I think Emily is the one who's like, I'm not gonna quit, because I feel like Emily, let me know if I'm getting this wrong, because this is purely an assumption plus a idea or suggestion. But I feel like Emily, one, enjoys the job, needs the money, but also like sees how passionate and excited and like sees the love that like Maple pours into it, and is like, I don't want to leave this. Like, this is, I've seen people love their jobs before, but this is like, I think Maple just has that like energy of just like, it's kind of like that magnetism, and Emily just sees that and gets like sucked into it and is like, yeah, no, I'm not leaving. Like, I want to stay and make this the best show that I can, despite all the weirdness, you know, for her, but also for myself. But like, it's that kind of energy, you know?
Yeah.
I love it.
I like that.
Good. Yeah, my Maple very much is like, it's the same character dynamic every time with us. It is my character adopts yours, like, every time. Oh, I'm gonna fix my hair.
Yeah.
Bugging me. well, okay. That's not going anywhere. Yeah, but it's very much like Maple adopts Emily, and I feel like Emily goes to Maple and tells her like, hey, I went to go see, you know, this other tech person, this is what they told me, and I think Maple is very much just like, you, like, you're not just gonna quit, you know? She's like, she basically does like you can leave, the others left because they didn't have good experiences. If you're not having a good time, like, you don't have to stay. And Emily is just like, no, we're doing this for you.
Yeah, I'm doing this for you. I'm staying because of you.
Listen, they're in love. I'm taking that right now.
They're in love.
Can we make this? Listen, I know you know this, because we both are. I am a sucker for ships. I love writing the romance. I love writing ships. I'm shipping it. They're in love.
Yeah, ship it.
Very much, I feel like Maple starts, or not Maple, Emily starts crushing on Maple first. And Maple's just like, hi, happy, cute, sweet to like everybody.
Yeah, I feel like when Maple comes up to her, like, for the first time, and it's like, hi, like, you're new here, like, how are you, or whatever, and, like, Emily's like,
immediate gay panic, like,
You talking to me?
It is when Vicky starts talking to Robin in Stranger Things. It is
Yeah,
immediate
yeah.
gay panic of like, what? Yeah, I love that. Like she walks right up to Emily and is like, "Hi, you're the new tech, right? I'm Maple. Nice to meet you." Emily straight up, I think, does that. Like, looks around. Like,
Yeah, like, you talking to me?
yeah, Maple's like, "You're the only new tech here."
You're the everyone else is on break, and she's like, "You're the only one here." So yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. So cute. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I feel like when oh my god, I love that idea. So now just to add to the gay because I love it. When Emily tells Maple about all the like weird experiences in the light booth, not just on set, but also is like, oh yeah, and I went to go talk to like the old techs. I wanted to see like exactly why they quit, if they had, you know, had anything like this, and like comes back with like all this like research and interesting like information, and Maple's like, you're not just gonna quit? Like you can leave, you're not just, and Emily's like, no, I mean it's a good show and it's important to you. It's important to all of us. Does that thing where it's like corrects herself.
Yeah.
But when she
it's important to you. I mean all of us. It's important to
yeah. She doesn't, and Maple just goes like, it's like does that thing. It's like, that's so cute, and like hugs Emily super tight and gives her like a little kiss on the cheek. Emily just dies.
Yeah, Emily is dead now. She's
over.
dead, and it's not because of the goblin.
Yeah, that's the end. That's game over for
the end. That's the horror.
Yeah, the horror is gay panic. That's the real. The horror is a shy lesbian getting kissed on the cheek by her crush. Like, can you think of anything else more terrifying?
Oh my gosh, Emily is literally Robin.
She is.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love this.
I was like, this is a little too familiar. It's Robin.
Oh, that's so cute. I love it. Okay, so obviously now we have like, you know, not just props and puppets going missing, but now like actors are going missing, like people are going missing. Let's go ahead and talk about the actual horror of it all. Definitely people going missing. I feel like finding, they would find like little footprints or little like maybe like I have hiccups, little scratching marks all over the floor, like behind, you know, in like the prop room and stuff like that. I feel like crazy stuff like that would go down. They talk about like maybe they just have mice in the building, but it's like there's like if people's like food has like little bite marks, you know how if you have like, you know, mice in the house or whatever, you'll sometimes find like if you leave food out, like little rat bite marks and stuff. They find little bite marks in like some snacks and some food, but it looks like human. It looks almost like human bites, like human teeth. So it's like, no rat looks like that. Like no rat's teeth is gonna look like that, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely getting like random bad like scratches and stuff on set that like usually they're like, oh, you gotta stop being so clumsy, like now we gotta put makeup on that, or now you gotta cover that up with we gotta get like a costume piece or something like that. But it's like I wasn't so clumsy, I didn't like trip or anything. Like what did the goblin steal your lighting?
They stole my light.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. It unplugged. It unplugged.
There was...
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Legitimately, and I think it's in my archives on TikTok from back when I did cosplay and original character content. There's a video I did where I have these, you know, LED. I don't have the, like, strip lights, but I've got the, like, little light bars that are remote control activated. I was doing a video as a Fae character that I made, and I had the remote in my hand. It was off screen, and I had my hand on, like, the light was supposed to turn green. So I had my hand on the green light button, and I hit it right on cue, but instead of it just turning green, it started flashing multiple colors and, like, doing, like, a rotation thing, and I was like, you can see me, like, halfway through my lip sync just go, like, like, it was that. It was, okay, so the Fae are fucking with my lights. Good to know.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so funny. I do miss doing cosplay content. It was fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's tiring, but fun.
It is. It really is. Oh my god, it took so much out of me. But it was, because I always did original characters. So I got to, like, I didn't really have to worry about being, like, movie accurate to anything, which was nice.
Yeah.
But even doing, like, original, where you could, like, kind of have creative freedom over the whole costume and all that, takes a lot. It's, it's exhausting. Yeah. So, sorry, getting back on track here. I feel like we have, honestly, a lot. What's the name of the show? Let's do some story, some setup here. What would be the name of the show?
What's the dog's name?
I was just about to ask.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would say, like, The Adventures of Maple and whatever the dog's name is.
Yes, yes. The Mystical Adventures of Maple and Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think of, like, just a general dog name. Max.
Yeah.
Max. And I think if it's fantasy-oriented, and it's a kid's show, so let's throw some, like, you know, alliteration in there. The Mystical Adventures or the Magical Adventures of Maple and Max.
Yeah.
That's a lot of M-A words, so.
It's okay.
It's set in Massachusetts. Yeah, the Magical Adventures of Maple and Max, I feel like would be the name of the show. The dog's name is Max.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they would literally just have it called, the Magical Forest. Or
yeah.
The Magic Forest. Like, you know, they have to keep it simple for it being,
for kids.
For younger audiences. So, yeah, they would just call it, like, we have to get through the Magic Forest, or what kind of new friends are we going to meet in the Magic Forest today? Like, that kind of thing. Yeah. And
Yeah.
So to wrap up, to summarize, because we've got some really good stuff here, and I think we can kind of, basically, what I like to do with these episodes is, I want to create the scene. I want to set it up, because I want to have enough to where, if we want to write a story later, we can. If we want to, like, I would love to see other people, like, expand on this if they want to, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like we've done that. So, on the set of a popular children's TV show, The Magical Adventures of Maple and Max, we have, coming on new to the actual magical crew, is the new light and sound tech, Emily Robinson. I love the fact that she's Robin and you named her Robinson. Iconic.
Iconic.
Yeah. The new tech, Emily Robinson, comes along as now the 4th light and sound tech on this show. For reasons unknown, the last 3 have up and quit very suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
When meeting the star of the show, Maple, Emily is immediately enamored. and basically comes to a decision of like, I can never quit this job. Like, I wasn't intending to because the money is good, but I cannot quit this job. I have to be here just so I can watch her perform.
Yeah.
You know? And Maple absolutely loves it. Maple is the most, just welcoming and warm. As close to a fairy, as close to a Tinkerbell fairy as a real life person can get.
Yeah.
But absolutely loves the true stories of the Fae. Absolutely loves true folk tales and true, like, warnings and stories about both, you know, benevolent and belligerent Fae and other folk. And tries to incorporate that as much as she can into the show. But unbeknownst to her, what that does is actually invite some not so friendly people from the other world into their own, and they are not very happy with the show, with what is happening right now, with the mockery of their world that this show is making, which obviously is not the intention of Maple at all.
Yeah.
Now, through all of this, now we have things are going missing. There are scratches made throughout the floor, on the walls. People are getting hurt. People are getting, you know, little scratches or feeling like maybe something bit them somewhere, like a mouse like bit them or something like that. And then one of the goblin puppets goes missing. And then the actor who puppeteered him goes missing. What that does is then has to lead to a full investigation of what exactly is going on, led, of course, by Emily and Maple.
The Adventures of Emily and Maple.
The Rainbow Adventures of Emily and Maple. I love this. I think we have a great setup here.
Yeah.
So, I would love to you know, see more and talk more about these characters. Just, I guess I'll do a little outro now. I'm still trying to work on like how to script this. I'm not good at these.
It's okay.
I'm so bad at this. Well, I had one before, but I've recently, as of today, I've had to like rewrite it, and I didn't get a chance to before we started filming. So we're winging it. If you guys want to hear more, talk more about these characters, about this world, about maybe the Fae world, you want to talk more about developing that, or talk more about developing this show, if you want to talk more about the characters, if you want to write a character profile for Max, or make a new character for this show, whatever, please go join our Discord. You can also follow us on Instagram at NotQuiteNovelists. In our Discord, we have channels for community chats. Like, I want to hear other people's, like, opinions. If this episode kind of inspired you at all to make your own story and to come up with your own character, please put them in the community chat. Like, the point of these episodes are to continuously expand these worlds and to be able to talk and share ideas and continuously be inspired. If this episode wasn't your jam, go listen to last week's episode. That was awesome. That was a fun one. We did it was like a carnival, like a fantasy carnival episode. That was a fun one. Yeah. Yeah, so at Not Quite Novelist on Instagram, and then in the episode, or in the description, the link in the bio of that Instagram, you will find our Discord as well. So, thank you, Liz, for being my guest on this one.
Thank you for asking me.
Fun. Where can people find you on the interwebs? Don't plug
you can
yourself.
find me on Instagram or TikTok. It's the same username, so it's Liz La Cosplay, all one word.
Cool. That will also be, so if you guys are watching this on YouTube, that will be linked in the description. We'll also have, posts obviously on Instagram saying, like, how fun it was to have you as a guest. So, cool.
Yeah, awesome.